How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and probably, I guess, Monday. Thanksgiving was Thursday. Probably still got some leftovers in the fridge. Might not be the good stuff, but you probably got something that hadn't turned mildew just yet. Maybe some of those hams or turkey might still be hanging in there a little bit. Ronnie Rance alongside Joel Davis. Hope everybody had a great holiday, and golly, Christmas will be right around the corner before you know it. But this time of the year, and I'm surprised, no Black Monday.
I know.
We've got the navy blue going.
I told you.
No Black Monday here. Usually this time of year, Joel comes in his mafiosa attire because we're talking about all the firings that have been going on. But
I'm going to tell you, next Monday, you might want to tune into this show because I'm going to
got some things.
I got some things. We're going to know if bad things happen on Sunday, which could very well happen. If bad things happen next Sunday for the black and gold, you might as well.
Wow.
You might want to wear your black.
Wow, 8-1, huh? And you're
8-3.
8-1 in their last 9, and you're just so negative right now.
Let me tell you something. The injuries. It's the injuries.
It's piling up. But what's
piling
that
up at the wrong time of the year, Ron? You're facing four division games. Three of them are basically fighting for the right to own and to win the division. This 10-6, you may not make the playoffs. 10-6, you may not. And you've lost.
There's going to be somebody 10-6
the
that's out.
tiebreakers.
Yeah.
And in that game yesterday with the Los Angeles Rams could loom large because of the tiebreaker. Because guess who's nipping on the heels of the Los Angeles Rams?
Yeah.
And that's the Seattle Seahawks. If the Seattle Seahawks go and win out and win that division, maybe drop, because they could have dropped a game or two, and I think the Rams will drop a game or two. Let's just say the Seattle wins that division. And the Saints and the Rams
have to get to 11 wins.
They have to get to 11.
They got to go 3-2.
They have to go 3-2.
Very doable.
Is it?
I think it's very doable.
Ronnie, what is their program for cornerbacks? What is it that they have them on? Is it some sort of, I don't know, let's beat the crap out of them Monday through Wednesday so that way on Sunday when they go to play they get 86? Think of all the injuries that over the years that have happened at that position. And then you go look at other teams. Like Richard Sherman was on the field every week until until he was 38 years old. And then he finally gets hurt. Not really 38. But I mean, look at the names. It goes back to Greer. It goes back to Porter. It goes Delvin Breaux. I mean, this is not just this year. It's not just last year. It's been years of the same issue with these quarterbacks in New Orleans.
So you think the Saints have a bad turf at practice?
No, I don't know what they're doing.
I
think they're giving them
some special stretching that's not
I'm
quite
all
jiving.
about conspiracy theories, right? Like I believe that iPhone sends out, but I believe that Apple sends out crazy things that tweak your phone right around Christmas time, right around the time their new phones come out. My phone broke the other day. It just started to get in a glitch. It just got a glitch right when the 10's coming out, right? So I believe in these things. I believe that the Saints are giving them some sort of bad supplements. Just to the cornerbacks.
Just to the cornerbacks.
That's the only, and maybe Teron Armstead. Maybe he's getting it too.
All right. Well, let's get serious for a minute.
No, I'm dead serious right now. I'm not kidding you.
Listen, the Saints have
They have a problem.
They have a tough road to hoe, but so does everybody. Like the NFC is super tough. I mean,
Atlanta's getting healthy.
By losing to the Rams, the Saints have put themselves in a situation where they're not going to be a top 2 seed. That's done.
Done.
So, they lost to the Vikings, lost to the Rams, and of course the Eagles aren't slowing down, and all those teams are ahead of them. So now it's about winning the division or becoming a wild card team. You can take a huge step. Big, huge step this weekend. Carolina at home. You win that game, you're in a.
What happens if you lose it?
If you lose it, you got a lot more sense of urgency. But I mean, the Saints.
What happens?
Saints have the Jets at home and they've got Tampa on the road. Those are 2 wins. Okay.
Are they?
Yes. I mean, are you really at that point where you just threw away 8 games in a row? They won 8 games in a row. So now all of a sudden you think that
who
this
did they
team
beat, Ronnie, in those 8 weeks? I told you they were a fraud. Who did they beat over those 8 weeks?
The Jets.
Who did they beat? They should have lost to Washington.
If you can't beat the Jets at home, I don't want to go to the playoffs. If you can't beat the Jets at home.
The Jets have not been a pushover.
They won 4 games this year.
Yeah, but every game is because McCown blows the game like yesterday. McCown. Josh McCown. Not Luke
McNown.
McNown, not Cade McNown. That was the dude from the UCLA went to.
Right. Terrible. He was
yeah,
terrible. First round pick, he was awful.
Left, he was terrible. But no, I mean, think about this, Ronnie. I mean,
I get it. It's you got to sweat it a little bit. They got to go 3-2 to be sure to get in. 2-3, their fingers are crossed.
it could be one of those
3-2,
years.
they're in. 2-3, fingers are crossed. Because there's going to probably be one team 10-6 that doesn't get into playoffs.
There is going to be one team,
Right.
and it's going to either be Atlanta, Carolina, or Seattle, or the Saints. One of those 4 teams. Because I think they're all.
I think it's going to be Atlanta. I think Atlanta's
Atlanta's
gonna be
balling.
The Saints and Atlanta have to play each other twice. Okay, Saints win one, they win one. Now
Let me tell you something. If Lattimore,
I understand
and
the
Crawley
Julio Jones
or Crowley or
issue.
Crawley or whatever
we
he is,
play Julio Jones every year. I get it.
what do you get, Mr.
I get
Red
it that
Shirt?
he's the best receiver in the league, and the Saints are going to double team him to
Yeah,
death.
but their defense is really good. Their defense is really better than you think they are. They're fast. They're a matchup nightmare. Atlanta's kind of had our number the last year or so, but before that, Sean Payton had his number. But I'll be honest with you. The only thing that I feel good about with the Atlanta thing is that there's a home game at the end of the season backed up by an away game at Tampa. Those 2 final games of the season make me feel a little bit better at the end of the year. But I can't stand the fact this Carolina game, Ronnie, is so huge. It is
Tremendous.
It's not only huge because you basically get a 1 game up on Carolina and a 2-game tiebreaker. You swept them, but you have to go on the road 4 days later
Short week.
and play in Atlanta on Thursday night.
Oh, by the way, you got a 3:15 game. Then
Yeah,
the
it's a
short
late
week.
Sunday night
Yeah, you
game.
get 3 extra hours
Unbelievable.
that you lose. Yeah.
It's so that Carolina game, brother. Let me tell you something. You better push all your chips in. Push all your chips in, Ronnie, because I'm gonna tell you right now. If they lose to Carolina, they're gonna have a 3-game losing streak because they're not beating Atlanta in Atlanta. And then what are you gonna say?
Yeah, but this was.
Are you gonna be wearing your black top?
But this was a game that even if the Saints had all their players, even if Lattimore was there, I thought the Saints were going to lose this game. You looked at the schedule on the road against LA. They're the hot team of the year. They've got 3 superstars. I mean, you would have thought that this was a loss anyway, even if they were all the fact that they weren't healthy and they actually had a chance is incredible.
That little last touchdown was just.
I know,
come
but I
on,
mean,
dude.
at the end of
they
the
got their asses handed to them.
look, Drew Brees, by the way, something's wrong with his arm.
He looks terrible.
No, something's wrong with his arm.
It has to be.
There were
He looks
3
so-
throws that was, I went ow when he threw it. Like, I mean,
He's throwing it weird.
he can't.
He's like
yeah,
you can't get
he's like
anything
trying
on
to get into it. He
He has his accuracy's
I mean,
off.
How about the ball where he tried to throw it over the linebacker? And
Oh, this is the deep route down the sideline where
deep
Ted
route,
Ginn's wide open.
Ted Ginn's wide open.
I mean, that's a
Coach.
touchdown.
I mean,
that's a game changer.
He threw it 5 yards behind him. I mean,
He doesn't look right.
he doesn't look right. And the thing is that that's coming off of a week where he had a big over 300 yards. Redskins came from behind. But if you think back to the Redskins throws, I mean, a lot of them were little check downs
Yeah,
that
there's a
turned
lot of
into big stuff. Look, that said, the Saints have to keep Drew Brees. Like, they got to give him the 2-year deal, $50 million, because of business. Forget the fact that whether or not Sean Payton is behind the scenes going, you know what, I think Drew's arm's kind of done, and he might be done, and I think that there's some young guys that I'd like to work with. No. You're going to not have any suites. You're not going to have season ticket holders. Like the small market. The Saints have to have Drew Brees, okay?
Well,
So-
they didn't have Drew Brees before
and,
2006.
and oh, by the way, there's not an owner of the team who he still thinks Archie. I mean, Tom. I mean, listen. And no, seriously. I mean, look, nothing wrong. We all have old grandparents and people. God bless you. I'm not going to live to be over 80. No way. So the point is the fact that he's 88 or whatever he is. That's amazing.
He's
okay,
90.
90. What? That's incredible. But the guy's had a life. He thinks Archie's the quarterback, and so the point is that there's not the ownership that will say, you know what, I'm gonna take it for the team. This new ownership group, I'm gonna take it for the team for the best part of the franchise. Let's move Drew and let's develop a new quarterback for the future.
not gonna do that.
No, because what's the wife's name? Gail? No,
Gail.
not Gail.
Yeah, it's Gail.
Is Gail?
It's Gail.
I thought that was the niece.
That's Gale.
Who was the
Rita.
Rita was the one. Gail, like she's just trying to keep it going. You know what I mean? Like she's not ready to.
No, she just wants to keep living in the mansion.
Not calling the shots or whatever. So the point is that there's nobody guarding. That's a big decision. That's not a Sean Payton decision. That's not just a Mickey Loomis decision. That's a hey boss, where's the owner? Hey,
Well, what's
he wants to go where?
You know
Where did he go? He's getting
Ronnie,
oatmeal. He's eating
this
oatmeal.
team's in trouble.
Yeah, it's tough.
Drew looked old yesterday. He looked old.
They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to go 3-2.
I hope.
Do you want to put a little something on it?
I'd like to wait till Sunday.
Of course. They win the game on Sunday. It's lock of the year.
Here's the thing with Carolina. Carolina is not. They still have the defense. They have Luke. As long as Luke Kuechly is on the field, that
Yeah,
guy
and
is.
tight end's back too.
God, well, he hurt himself yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Greg
Okay.
Olson
Oh,
hurt his
good.
foot, but he passed all the tests, so he's day to day. I'm sure he'll be
yeah.
ready Sunday.
He'll come back with a little cortisone in there and have a great game.
The problem is for the Saints, you're looking at Teron Armstead, who is the most fragile person I've ever seen. As soon as he signed a $1 billion contract, the dude, literally every part of his body is falling off.
Right.
I mean, a hamstring, I can't block. You can't block with a hamstring, bro? I mean, come on, you're a freaking tackle. Who you don't even need a
backpedal a little bit.
Come
He's got to
on,
drop
dude.
down in a squat position.
Where does his hamstring
upward.
even come into play? It's absurd how that this guy.
Dude, do me a favor. Stand up right now and give me the squat position of a left tackle. Tell me
Only
you're
if
not
you do
feeling.
it.
Tell
Only
me
if you do
no,
it
because
first.
I have sweatpants on. Not only you can't. You have to use your hamstring. Tell me you're not feeling your hamstring. Tell me, go up and down a little bit. You're feeling your hamstring.
I'm feeling my bad knee, but not
No,
my
you're
hamstring.
feeling your
Let me tell you
hamstring.
something. I'm irritated by these people.
I know you're irritated, but he's not a
Let me
wuss.
tell
You got to
something.
have your
You know what?
hamstring.
It's always the guys that are athletes. The athlete is always the ones that are hurt, right? The Dante Stahl Peppas. They're the ones that are always in. The super athlete always hurts their hamstrings. Odell. I mean, I'm so tired. Let's just remove.
It's like a racehorse. A racehorse is very, very temperamental. They
But
get
you know
hurt
what?
easily.
But Teron Armstead is the most athletic offensive lineman. Give me the Zach Strief, the most unathletic guy. He's only 180 years old. That's why he's hurt. But he always was on the field. I'd rather have the guy that's always on the field than the guy that's great, but he's never on the field, just for consistency purposes. By the way, he had a terrible game yesterday. I mean, he got called for 2 holding calls. Looked like crap in pass protection. So Teron Armstead, man, I'm almost to that point where we need to move Ramczyk
by the way,
back
Drew
over there.
Brees had so much pressure on him, particularly early
It's
in the game,
unbelievable.
that he looked like a rookie quarterback, and that he was feeling it even when it wasn't there.
Yes.
And he was just making bad decisions. How many times did Drew Brees throw into coverage? Like he
He
was
could've had
just
5
he
interceptions.
was a gambler yesterday. He was just throwing the ball just in there. I mean,
Did not
terrible
care.
decisions.
Did
Just
not care.
Like Drew, go ahead and tuck it, run and get 3 yards.
He
like
can't
seriously.
run. Did you see that scramble? He looked like he was 180 years old. He literally looks so old out there.
That said, the future's a problem because there's nobody on the roster for the Saints at quarterback.
And finally, they get some parts on defense, and they got some new parts on offense. I'm going to tell you, I love Michael Thomas. I love Michael Thomas. He is great.
He's got no wiggle. I mean, that ball he caught in the flat, put the foot down.
He's
Couldn't
got
put the
some.
foot
He's
down.
got a little wiggle. He just doesn't have explosion out of that wiggle.
41 would have scored.
Oh yeah,
On the ball in the flat.
41 can score every time. He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
We'll talk about him.
Talking about neck tattoos.
He doesn't have any neck
Yeah, I
tattoos.
thought he did. He didn't have something?
He's
got the
a little something-
gauge. He's got the
a little something-
gauge.
He's got a little something right here.
I think he's got some stuff here.
And I'm okay with that. If
Hey,
you're-
dude, whatever. I don't care
You
what
can-
he's got.
you can put one right here.
He
I
could
don't
have
even
devil horns underneath there. I don't
I
care.
think he does. I think he's got those coming.
Yeah.
They're under his skin. They put them in there. But let me look. Drew Brees is on his last leg. I mean, it's so frustrating.
Last shoulder.
The poor Tom Brady. Tom Brady over here is 41 years old.
Just
Looks like
slinging
he's
it,
20 years
slinging
old.
it.
I mean, he's still got the cannon. Has all day to
think
throw the
Giselle
football.
does that to you.
It's unbelievable. But Drew is literally on his last leg. He's looking old. And I'm gonna say it right now. Carolina's a little injured too. We were talking about it. Cam did not look good versus the Jets yesterday. Missed a lot of open throws. Has a little injury to his passing thumb.
He's saying Atlanta's going to win the division.
I'm telling you, Atlanta is peaking at the right time. They're still a game behind the Carolina Panthers.
Do
Put
they
it this
play
way.
Carolina one more time?
Yes, they do.
They do. So they got
they play Carolina.
3 division games.
They play
Saints
Carolina
twice and Carolina once.
They have Carolina at home or on the road. Excuse me, in the last game of the season. But Carolina.
That could be for a playoff spot.
It could be. That could be for the division. If Carolina wins this week, Atlanta has a tougher schedule than Carolina down the stretch.
Right.
They have to
I
play
think they got the
Minnesota.
Vikings,
They
yeah.
got the Minnesota Vikings this week. And I'm trying to figure out, do I want the Minnesota Vikings to win? Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Of course
Yeah,
I
of
do.
course.
However, it doesn't help with that number 2
Doesn't
seed.
matter. Doesn't affect. Saints are not going to get the number
They're
2.
not
They have to
gonna
go
get-
5-0. It's not going to happen.
Well, they just went 8-0. Why can't they go 5-0?
But they're limping down the stretch with the injuries
It's
on defense.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I knew Lattimore wasn't going to play this week, Ron. I knew that he was hurt, and then when he had a boot on Wednesday. Dude's not going to play. Crowley has to get back. That guy, Lattimore's not playing this weekend either, buddy.
I mean, if you're not walking
Get-
around or even practicing this week, you're not going to play next
Well,
week.
you know, if you're in a boot on Wednesday, you're not going to
Right.
be on the field playing. They're holding him out, praying for Julio Jones.
What are we knowing about Crowley? What is the injury?
He's got an abdomen.
I mean, let's tape it up, huh?
Tape it up.
I mean, Robert Redford, the natural, he played.
You don't need an abdomen.
He's Joel Davis. I'm Ronnie Rance. We're here in the LeBears Studios in Baton Rouge. All kind of great stuff going on at LeBears with the holidays. You're going to have a lot of free time. You're going to get that Christmas money from the family. Go blow it over there and parlay it. Not blow it. Parlay it. Put it on red. And let it ride 3 times. My game. Put it on red, let it ride 3 times, then take it off, and then go to 18 Steak
how
and
you
buy
work?
you a meal. That's how, on my way out, I always have the 1 chip or a couple bucks left. I always go, I pick red or black, I let it ride 3 times, and then if I win, I
What
go
if you
home.
lose the first time?
I'm out. I let it ride there. So if it's a $50 chip, then it's 100. 100 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4. 3 spins,
3 spins.
50 to 400.
Let
I'm
it
out.
ride.
I'm out.
Do you change the colors? Or you stick with that one
No,
color?
stay with the 1.
How often does that work out for you? Be honest. Because
30% of the time. But I mean, that's like the walking
Means
out the
you're
door.
losing.
No, but that's the walking out the door. It's fun. All right, look, we'll take a break. We'll be back. When we come back, we'll talk some college football, some LSU. They finished 9-3. Who'd have thunk it? And Black Monday didn't affect anybody in Louisiana per se. Maybe next week. I'll tell you who. We'll be back right after this.
Relief window, experience Relief window.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, Hardy Planker siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Relief window.
Appliance Distributors of Louisiana are appliance experts who have been in business for over 35 years. ADL provides worry-free, full-service solutions for the whole home. ADL works with designers, builders, or individual homeowners like me when I was remodeling my home after the Great Flood in August 2016. ADL offers special homeowner discounts, just like the ones the builders get. Go to ADLappliances.com and see all the major name brands, or stop by their store on Nicholson Drive in Baton Rouge. ADL services the entire state of Louisiana, so call, log on, or stop by today. Appliance Distributors of Louisiana. If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Welcome back, everybody. Ronnie Ranch, Joel Davis here in LeBaire Studios inside in Baton Rouge, downtown Baton Rouge. College football season just ended. LSU goes 9-3. And you know, look, we both sat here a couple months ago and we're wondering if they're going to be bowl eligible.
No, we said would they win an SEC game?
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing that after the Troy game. Like, okay, how many SEC games are they doing? At that time, we thought Florida was better than they were, and they're trash. Yeah. And oh, by the way, Dan Mullen going to Florida. So, by the way, LSU, you think Dan Mullen gave you some trouble at Mississippi State? Now we got to play them every year in Florida with better athletes.
Right.
So. You know, Dan Mullen can beat you 2 of the last 4 years at Mississippi State. What do you think he's going to be able to do at Florida? So that game's going to be an interesting.
I'm shocked by that because we talked about this.
You thought the wife thing was a deal breaker.
And I thought it was. I mean, she went on record saying she hated living there.
She went on record before the season with a local interview in Starkville and said that she didn't enjoy living in Gainesville because the pressure to succeed was so much. She even went grocery shopping in Orlando because, you know, if you didn't win every game, you know, the sky was falling and this kind of thing. I guarantee you that was an easy conversation. Honey, they're going to give us more money. You can have it, whatever. We can live in Orlando and take a helicopter to Gainesville for the games, whatever. So, and oh, by the way, we can win a national championship. And I know we enjoy Starkville, but we're in Starkville. You know, so look around.
Where are you?
Look around.
Where are you?
Starkville. Look around. There's cow fields everywhere. But
I'd be just happy to get away from them bells. And Stingray.
Stingray. You, man.
The internet sensation.
But Dan Mullen's going to do great things over there. I guarantee you, you know, Tim Tebow's happy about that hire. But we thought
he's probably going to win a national championship there.
We thought after the Troy debacle, okay, Florida's going to be tough because at the time Florida was 3-0 in a league. We thought the Florida game was going to be tough. We thought Tennessee was going to be better than they are. They went 0-8. 0-8. Tennessee. And oh, by the way, their fans blocked them from hiring a pretty good coach.
And look, that's the customer base. And look, if you don't want something and your customers tell you, don't get it, you might want to listen to your customer base. They listened. It's going to cost them some money.
Schiano was supposed to be introduced. You think a lawsuit's coming?
Oh,
yeah. This is a slander type of deal.
Totally embarrassing.
Schiano was going to be introduced last night in Knoxville. That was the expectation. They were going to introduce him to the team and have a press conference. Instead, he'll stay at Ohio State as an assistant. Remember, he spent 10 years at Rutgers, did a great job, took a program that would go like 0-12 every year, took him to bowl games, then became the head coach at Tampa Bay, which was an odd deal that he jumped from Rutgers to Tampa. That experiment for a year and a half or whatever didn't work.
Yeah.
But he's a good college coach and maybe a good pro coach, but, you know, it was just a wrong fit and everything, timing. But probably a good hire by Tennessee. They thought they were going to do some good things, get them at probably a good price and everything. Instead, who knows which direction they're going to end up with. But
Les Miles, maybe.
Oh, I hope. That would be great. That would be so great. You know, I got a text message from a guy, a reporter from another city and in Louisiana, and he said, you know, have I heard anything on Les Miles? People are genuinely shocked that Les Miles' name's not being thrown around for these jobs. And I'm like, well, look, it's very simple. He got exposed.
Yeah.
You know, people in the know understand that there's a lot better choices. Les Miles was like, look, at the end of the day, and I'm not just saying that, I think you or I could win 7 games every year as the head football coach at LSU. I mean, I really do. I mean, is that asking too much?
You just have to be able to recruit.
I've got the budget for the largest coaching staff. I can pay my coaches whatever it takes to get the best assistant coaches in the country. I'm going to get all the great athletes. All I got to do is go love on them a little bit, you know, in front of the fireplace in December. I'm going to get great athletes. Louisiana's had more athletes in the NFL than even Alabama.
LSU has more athletes. LSU has more athletes.
I mean, I'm talking about Louisiana. I mean, LSU, right. That's what I meant. And look, I'll give Les Miles credit for that, okay? But I'm telling you, so there's a lot of good coaches out there that could go win 7 games at LSU every year.
The
difference between 7 games and 10 games is where the money comes in.
Right.
But 7, you got to win 7, you know, at LSU. I mean, come on. So the point is that the people in the know that Les Miles, the better days have passed him. And, you know, reports are the Purdue job. He butchered that interview. Purdue wanted to hire him a year ago. He went in there. It was a bizarre interview, and they didn't hire him.
I wish we could have been a fly on the
Oh,
wall.
I know. And supposedly there's a book, and the papers were falling out. It was a mess. So the point is that, people are shocked that Les Miles is. Look, don't be sad for Les Miles.
He's
He got
rich.
his $10 million to go away.
He's
He got
rich.
$50 million in his time at LSU. Look, he's going to be on TV, and all that. It's great, but I don't know what Tennessee's going to do, but they're 0-8. They lost 8 games for the first time in their program's history, and they went 0 for the season in the SEC for the first time in that program's history. So, but again, 2 months ago, we thought the Florida game would be tough. We thought Tennessee would be tough. We thought, well, it's Arkansas. They always play us tough. No, Arkansas was awful. And Bielema, by the way, got let go.
Ole Miss. Didn't know.
We thought Ole Miss was going to be tough, but that was before your favorite player pulled his hamstring or hurt
Tore
his
his
knee and
ACL.
tore his ACL in the second quarter of that game. Their quarterback. And oh, by the way, Texas A&M was Texas A&M. They played like Texas A&M does, 0 defense, and their coach got fired the next day.
Are you surprised that John Chavis never got that defense going over there?
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's 3
to me.
years there. You
How
would have
he
thought
never
in
got
3
it
years
going.
they would have improved.
I mean, it's like you got athletes, and he could just never find. And was it because of the offense and what the offense does? And it's almost like can't have anything to do with the offense.
Yeah.
Time of possession, you just got to be able to.
Tennessee, bring the chief back as a defensive
Dude.
coordinator.
Well, you got to get the guy that's going to be the head coach that likes that guy.
Two things. Let's talk about the guys that get fired.
You had a lot of success there, bro.
Bielema gets fired at Arkansas. Very classy how he went out. All kind of great things he said. He got fired right after the game. So literally, when the game was over, 15 minutes later, he walks into a press conference. He's fired.
No, he said they told him going off the field.
Yeah, I mean that.
Excuse me.
Can we turn the ringer off?
Yeah.
Thank you. Why can't they just fire him the next morning?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why can't he have his press conference at the end? Hug his players. Everybody knows this is it. They go back home. He sleeps. The next morning he comes in for a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They give him the pink slip and a check.
Not going off the field. Hey, by the way, you're fired.
I mean,
You're fired, sir.
And their reasoning was they thought they wanted him to be able to tell his players bye and have a moment. I mean,
So bad.
Come on, the players knew. Players knew. I mean, they were hugging him up, I'm sure, before. So, but the Arkansas job is open.
So many good jobs open right now. If you're a coach,
by the way, Ole
if you're-
Miss decided, and this makes a lot of sense, they decided to stay with their interim coach.
had to.
They took the tag off because nobody wants that job.
Yeah, right.
You're not going to
And
get a
you're
good
gonna
coach.
You're going to try to keep the kids that are on that
Right.
roster because of the relationships, the
Right.
commitments they made to him.
And
It's
you'd
the
have
right
to
move.
overpay. You'd have to make long-term promises. They don't know what the ramifications are going to be
Right.
yet with the NCAA. They're going to be slammed big time. So this makes a lot of sense. Ole Miss is basically going to be garbage the next 3 or 4 years. I mean,
Good.
they're having self-imposed restrictions already. We don't know what the NCAA is passing down, and they didn't go get any kind of super special coaches that are going to run some kind of amazing system. So Mississippi State now has a new coach job opening.
They're going to be garbage.
Ole Miss has got a new coach job. Keeping their coach, but they're basically in
hell.
purgatory for
Yeah.
the next 4
Yeah.
years. Arkansas job is wide open. By the way, Kevin Sumlin's name's getting thrown around for possibly
I
going
know.
there
and
to that
and
job.
look, I wouldn't be opposed if I was an Arkansas fan.
Because hey, look,
He
7,
can
8
score.
wins is great
Right,
for them.
Right, and he can put points on the board.
And they need offense.
And they need offense, and they can get talent too. Arkansas can get some talent, very good
You
skilled players over there.
always date or hire the opposite of what you just got rid of.
Sure.
So if you got rid of.
Defensive guy, you go get an offensive guy.
Exactly. If you get rid of somebody who talks too much, you bring in somebody who doesn't
Quiet,
talk
right.
enough. Whatever the case may be. So that said, Sumlin to there, and oh, by the way, all he did was win 7, 8 games every year. So Arkansas will take that.
And he had some stars. He got a lot of guys in that program that were next level players, professional type skill players. If he can, maybe he made a mistake with the John Chavis hire. He didn't pan out.
No, he made a mistake by not getting quarterbacks. He couldn't keep them.
He couldn't keep
Yeah.
them because he had too many of them.
Right.
I mean, every year he had somebody that could put points on the board.
All right, so Arkansas job, and by the way, Texas A&M, as of Jimbo Fisher hasn't taken the job yet. But if he were to take the job,
Best agent in football.
this Sexton controls
Best
the world.
agent in
Jim
football.
Sexton controls the world.
What'd you say?
Jim Sexton?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Oh, it's Jimmy?
Not Jim.
We don't
I
call
know
him
if
Jim?
Do you go by Jim?
I mean, most Jimmys go by Jim.
You go by Ron?
sometimes. I would be offended if someone
Okay,
called me.
I found this on the web for if you were to take the job as Sexton Control Story TA and Gel Sexton.
What? This is that bug that you were talking about, the Apple bug.
I have the Apple bug.
The 10 is out. It's just doing things by itself. I didn't
telling
even
you.
touch it.
I know, I'm
you
telling
saw
you.
I wasn't even
They
touching
send
it.
out, I'm telling you, conspiracy theories.
It's listening
If
to me.
you're-
You heard him? Sexton.
Yep.
You heard it? I didn't even touch it.
I'm telling you. Apple is a scam. It's a scam.
You know what? I always said that. And
as
like,
soon as a new phone comes out, something all of a sudden starts happening to your phone.
by the way, you can go in your phone and there's settings that you can do. And I think whenever you update your phone and you get like new stuff,
they
you
put
gotta,
bugs
you
in
gotta,
there.
No, you got to go back in and redo the settings. But they listen to you.
Yes.
The phone listens to your conversation because how many times, check this out, if you got an iPhone, just put it nearby and just kind of like have a conversation with somebody and say something about, king size beds. I need a king size bed.
And then
What do
you
think?
open a
I need a
website.
king size bed. Next thing you know,
You open up
got,
the-
yeah, the
you got a pop-up.
Yeah, Facebooks and search engines and everything. All of a sudden, king size beds, emails and things start coming to you.
Telling you, dude. This right here, this is sketchy,
Listen,
dude.
it's unbelievable.
These
I'm
are
turn-
sketchy, man. I'm telling you. Turn off your notifications.
Two coaching offers at a doorstep.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable.
By the way, turn your phone
I'm a
off.
little nervous
you
about
jerk.
that.
You just messed with me about my phone.
what-
and your
I mean,
phone's talking.
My phone it just came out of nowhere. It just started babbling. Wow. Unbelievable. All right. So look, there's a job. There's a job.
You're a little.
that-
You're a little.
I'm a little
twisted
rattled
right-
by the fact
yeah.
that Apple is all up in my business. So there's a job.
I need that
Is
flip phone
Mark
back.
Hudspeth going to be
Yes, he's gonna be fired.
fired at
Yeah,
UL
you-
Lafayette
yeah,
next
you-
Monday?
you-
I mean,
yes.
the Raging Cajuns were 5-5 with 2 games left to play. They got a home game this past weekend against Georgia Southern, 1-9 Georgia Southern. They got
Lost.
handled at home, destroyed. Now they go on the road to Appalachian State, who's got like 7 wins, a traditional good team on the road. I mean, they're staring down the barrel of 5-7.
You can't lose to those teams.
And I think you know
Lafayette fans
now,
don't like that.
here's the thing that may save him, potentially. They
That
got a
red
little
shirt?
thing. They got a little thing going on over there with their softball coach that they fired and a lawsuit and all
What
kind
happened?
of.
What,
Come on, man.
I didn't hear this.
I apologize to everybody out there that's watching us in Lafayette.
I don't live in Lafayette.
That.
You live in Lafayette? Your
their-
family's in
So their
Lafayette.
longtime coach, Hall of Fame type coach,
Yeah.
got fired by the program.
Right.
And they hired a new coach, by the way, assistant coach
What did
that
the
was
Hall
at,
of Fame coach
at
do?
Texas A&M and at Auburn.
Can we talk
They
about
brought
what
him
the
in.
Hall
Well,
of Fame coach did?
It's alleged, and see, this is what's going to happen. That was supposedly the way he treated his players. He berated them. There might have been some physical contact.
So it could be on
hair
C-
pulling. Called him the P word. Called him the F word.
So this is
a lot of
CNN
different things.
material.
It's been going on and on. Supposedly there's been some complaints. There was an investigation. It's an HR issue. So you're not getting anything from Raging Cajun land officially from the school because it's a lawsuit going on. Eventually it's going to come out in court and it'll come out in the papers and you'll find out more. Right
There you
now,
go.
Lotief's camp, the coach's camp's the only one with the attorneys that are putting out his case, and it looks like
Oh, this is Lotief?
Yeah,
Like my friend, brother?
there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to call the tankster.
Who else did you think was fired?
I didn't even.
Yeah.
I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. So anyway, the bottom line is that I love that
Tank's
we're
probably-
I love that we're just discovering this on air in the middle of the show.
How
But-
am I didn't even talk to Tank in a
It's kind of a
couple
big
weeks.
deal. Been going on for weeks. Kind of
Weeks.
been all over the news. Yeah,
Weeks.
yeah.
Oh, weeks.
Even Marty knew about it.
Marty,
Even
you knew about it? Marty's
yeah.
into softball.
Yeah. So anyway,
ridiculous.
we apologize to all our viewers. This is
what
why you
happens
shouldn't watch
when you
the
have
show.
too much time on
Because
your
this
hands.
guy, what?
That's what happens when you have too much time on your hands. Right?
Because
you
I have more-
gamble, and you read the paper every day.
Oh my God.
And your phone talks to you.
By the way,
you're looking more like Santa Claus.
By the
every
way,
day.
the point is that the Raging Cajuns have a little distraction going on, which could pay dividends
for Hudspeth.
potentially for Hudspeth. They've got a little issue, got a little lawsuit. He might be able to snake through there. But if they decide that this is it, when the Raging Cajuns go 5-7 in football, if they decide this is it, Tim Rebo's got to be the guy, right? I mean, Timmy Rebo is the guy. Come bring him in for Nichols. He took an 0-12 football, 11-11
Done
football
well.
team, put him in the playoffs at home for the first
That's 'cause
time
he's got
ever.
a 4K on the team. now.
And oh, by the way, did you see how they lost the game? It
I
was
don't
terrible
know
at the last play
But
of the
how
game.
about when you
But-
got a 4K? That's what happens. You start
Yeah,
winning some
he
games.
played bad.
That's
He
okay.
cost them the game this past week. But also,
Kind of like Kenny Vaccaro?
He played, yeah. Vaccaro still needs to go back on the IR. They took him off too soon. And Armstead, they took them both off too soon. But the Raging Cajuns, if they do get rid of him, they'll bring in Timmy Rebo, and he'll be successful. People love him. He recruits great. He spent a lot of time there as assistant coach. He knows what it takes to win there. I think it's and you get him for a good price. He's Joel Davis. I'm Ronnie Rance. We're here in LeBaire Studios in Baton Rouge. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll tell you who I sat with at the game in the suite. World Series champion right after this.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the Grand Slam hitter to grandparents. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Relief window. Experience. Relief window.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, Hardy Planker siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Relief windows.
BR Mattress Company is the only name you need to know when looking to buy a mattress anywhere in Louisiana. BR Mattress Company is located in the Live Oak Shopping Center on Florida Boulevard between North Foster and Acadian. BR Mattress Company offers all the top name brands at 50 to 75% off retail prices. That's a $5,000 mattress for only $1,500. BR Mattress Company is open 7 days a week, and owner Mitch Kimball and his staff will provide you with laser-like service and a PhD in mattress education. If you want the best night's sleep of your life, go see the experts, Baton Rouge Mattress Company.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the three-point shooter to the three-piece suit. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Welcome back, everybody. Ronnie Rance, Joel Davis here at the LeBaire Studios in Baton Rouge. One of our great sponsors of the show, new sponsor, Ruffino Custom Closets. RuffinoCustomClosets.com. Check them out. You know, this is with the holidays
You
coming
need
up.
to take a second to get that
The nougat.
Baby Ruth down?
No, it was the Three Musketeers. The
Oh, was
nougat.
it? At least you were smart enough to stay away from the nuts.
Why? Well, what's wrong
Because
with
they get
nuts?
stuck in your throat sometimes, and you'd be like,
Yeah,
during
I
the
never
show.
had that problem. I'm like a grown man.
You've never choked on a nugget.
no.
You've never in your life had something stuck in your throat. Ever.
Not enough to where it scares me away.
No,
from
I'm talking
eating
about
it.
like you try to talk and
Can I tell you about one of
Go
our
ahead.
great sponsors, by the way? By the way, this guy, especially Joel, but all of you guys out there are trying to find the perfect Christmas present for your wife. And you're trying to come up with something unique and different. You don't want to go to the jewelry store and spend tons and tons of money. But, you know, you already got her that. You got her the watch. You got her the necklace. I don't know. She doesn't want the lingerie. She's not wearing it anyway. So why don't you do something nice for her and she'll love you, and it'll probably pay you more dividends than that lingerie. And that is, get a custom closet. Redo that closet where, you know, it's just packed with stuff. You don't know where everything is. Get Ruffino Custom Closets. They'll come out. They'll give you a free estimate. They'll draw a design plan for you. They'll be able to maximize the space. And look, she will be so happy. Trust me, 2018 will be off to a great start. It's RuffinoCustomClosets.com. They did my house after the flood, and it is fantastic. I had all types of, you know, suits and different things like that, and it was all jammed into a small space. They made my closet, you know, just double the size just by being creative and smart. They make all of their own hardware, and they're right there in South Louisiana.
Yours is done?
RuffinoCustomClosets.com. Done.
So we'll see it tonight when we drop off the cabinet?
Absolutely.
From the
You get to
Woodhaven
check it
side?
out. You
All
get
right.
to check it out.
I can't stay long.
I don't want you to.
Yeah.
You know, so,
Can't wait to get out of there.
RuffinoCustomClosets.com.
I get to wash my hands in your sink. His counters are like this.
Yeah, but
high.
I've got the man side in the master, and I've got the female regular side. So yeah, my side is a little higher.
It's a lot higher.
It's a little. I got a step stool if you need it.
His toilet is so high off the ground, like it doesn't have. It's like a floating toilet.
It's not. I wish it was.
It's like
That'd
a
be really
floating
cool.
And then, like, you remember Lily Tomlin when she was sitting in that
Right,
chair?
right,
That's what
right.
it's
Back
like.
in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're a huge person.
We were talking before we went to the break, of course, about, you know, some of the potential firings and hirings and whatnot that
Are we not going to talk about Alabama losing to Auburn?
we're getting there.
Are we? Because
Okay.
I mean, you didn't
Well,
set the table.
Gus Malzahn prior to the game, and who knows where all this stuff comes from. I mean, social media is to the point where somebody puts it out there, it gets passed around 100 times, and
fake news, Ron.
people take it as gospel. But Gus Malzahn was possibly going to Arkansas before the Alabama
He's from
win.
there.
I know, coached high school football there. But now, after you beat Alabama, he's going to get a mega deal. He might even be playing for a national championship if he beats Georgia, which is he should. They pummeled Georgia. I think it's going to be a lot closer this time around.
Sure it is.
But the bottom line is Auburn's a favorite in that SEC championship game against Georgia. Auburn wins, they're going to be in the playoff, and they're going to be potentially competing for a national championship. So that whole Gus Malzahn Arkansas thing, forget about it.
Auburn beating Alabama just put more
Handily.
has put even more pressure on LSU to compete and win now, because you look at Auburn and Alabama, that's a huge rivalry, one of the best rivalries in college, in all of college football. They're in the same state. They're competing for the same players year after year after year after year. And they both have enough to make championship caliber football teams. It hadn't been that long since Cam Newton won a championship at Auburn, okay? Auburn continues to roll out big wins, good seasons. Malzahn's there again with an opportunity to win a national championship, to be in the college playoff, while LSU's over here in a state that should have a fence around it, can have the pick of the litter of their players, you would think, but yet can't get in the conversation, Ron. Still can't get in the conversation. And I'm telling you, Ed Ogeron, because of Malzahn beating Alabama, his job just got harder. And I would have to say, he's got next year and the year after, that's it, to beat Alabama. If he's unable to do that, I'd expect LSU to make another change at the head coaching position.
So you think that Coach Ogeron's job is solely relying on the fact that he's got to beat Alabama?
I think the job in general at LSU, you have to beat Alabama. You have to go in there. You have to go to the SEC championship game. And to do that, you have to beat Alabama.
Yeah, but if he goes 9-3 every year, and
I'm
he goes
telling you,
5-3,
that's what-
6-2 in the conference,
That's
he's
what,
not going to be fired.
That's what Les Miles did. How could you say that?
But Les Miles didn't. He did back in the
He
day.
didn't?
The last couple of years, what did he do?
They fired him at the beginning of the
you
season.
got the phone. Yeah, but I mean, he went 2-2, and he got beat by Wisconsin with a bunch of slow white dudes, and then he went and got beat at a bad Auburn team at the time. You know, and put up no points. He showed a stubbornness to not change the offense. And oh, by the way,
How
the
many
year,
games did he win the year before that?
before he got he lost 3 games by like 40 points in the last 3. He had it was the worst beating
So
in
you
3
say
straight
Ed
games LSU's
Ogeron
ever
can go
had.
9-3 and have this job for the next 10 years.
Ed Ogeron go 9-3 and keep
You
his job
couldn't
for
be
the next
more
10
wrong.
years.
You could not be
Absolutely.
more wrong.
They are not going to
While
fire.
Auburn and Alabama continue to go to the SEC championship game, that's why you were fired from the Roughnecks. That's why the Roughnecks fired you as a GM.
No, that was Buford Jordan was the coach. That's why.
You hired him!
No, I didn't. I inherited him.
Oh.
5
Buford, I'm sorry.
If Ed Ogeron,
Why were you fired then?
If Ed Ogeron goes 5-3 every year in the league, and he goes 4-0 out of conference, or he goes 6-2 in the league, and he goes 3-1 out of conference because he loses to Texas or UCLA or USC or whatever, he's going to keep his job.
Nope.
He's not going to
He's
get
got 2
fired
years.
at 9-3.
Yes, he will. He absolutely will. Because that stuff's going to get old. It's going to get old. People going to get tired of hearing of it.
They're not going to ever get tired of 9-3, Coach.
They got tired of it with Les Miles. You couldn't be more wrong.
You don't even know what your skill. Look, pull up your phone and look at his
pull up
record.
your phone.
My phone's getting charged. But I mean, he won the national championship
one shot.
in
Go to one
07,
shot.
and then he
Go to
played for a
one
national
shot.
championship after 011 season. Ever since then, he
011.
had one 10-win season.
Okay. I'm just telling you, he's going
If
to get
Ed
fired.
Ogeron goes
If he
9-3
doesn't-
every year, and he wins the bowl game every other year, and he has a 10-win season every other year, he is not going to get fired. You are smoking something that you shouldn't be smoking. It's illegal except in 2 states. And look, by the way, Nick Saban, how much longer do you think he's going to be there?
That's all right. They got Dabo waiting in the wings over in
Dabo's
Clemson.
not going to leave Clemson.
He's from. He played at
Doesn't
Alabama.
matter.
Why wouldn't he?
Because the money that they're going to throw him the same amount of money at Clemson as he would at Alabama.
And go home?
He's won a national championship he is Nick Saban at Clemson. At some point, Clemson is home. He's been at Clemson a lot longer than he ever was at Alabama. He played at Alabama and he coached there a little bit. He's been at Clemson now longer than he's been at Alabama. And oh, by the way, he's proven he can beat Alabama.
So,
And it's a little easier route to win the
LSU.
ACC than it is to win the SEC.
LSU, Les Miles. First year, 11 wins. Second year, 11 wins.
Give me
Third
some
year,
recent
12.
history. Give me
Let
since
me get
12.
to it, Chief.
Give me 2012 to
So
now.
he had a rough patch in 08 and 09.
I don't care about that.
I'm getting to a
Give
point,
me a
Ron.
2012 to now.
Let me give you a point, okay? He had a rough patch after having a good 3-year run. Then he won 8 games and 9 games, right? Then he got back up and won 11, 13, 10, and 10, right? And then
Give me
and then he-
2012 till now.
2012 he won 10 games.
There you
13
go.
he won 10 games. In 14 he went 8-5. In 15 he went 9-3. 9-3.
These are all
And
counting
then he
bowl
was
games, by
fired.
the way.
Right,
These
and
are
then he
all
was
counting bowl
fired.
games. Meaningless bowl games when you get that extra
Ronnie,
tick at
my
the end.
point is, in 08 and 09, he had 2 down years and then responded with an 11-2 season and a 13-1 season. He never had a chance to respond. It's very difficult, like you said, to stay on top. We talked about that 100 times, how hard it is to win 10 games every year. So you're saying to me they win 9 games, which he did. He
9-3, and then he wins a bowl game every other year.
He got fired in 2 games into the season.
No. He got fired because
games into
those
the
3
season.
games that he lost were the worst beating LSU's gotten in the history of its beatings.
My point is he had a downward spiral in 08 and 09, and they stuck with him, and he responded. How do you know Les Miles wouldn't respond? Because they got tired of his poo, and they got tired of losing to Alabama.
He's just coming off of winning a national championship. You get some chips in your holster for that.
Okay.
If Les Miles had won a national championship in 2011, if they had won that game, he'd still be the coach at LSU.
Probably so.
But he didn't. And not only did he not win that game, it was the beginning of the end of the offense. Other than, Mettenberger 1 year because he was a 5th-year senior, 23 years old, and he had 3 first-round picks around
Let
him.
me tell you how bad LSU's season is going to be next year. If Miles Brennan and Narcisse end up being turds, you think Ed Ogeron's going to be around, big guy?
Look,
Is there a transfer coming in? a 5th-year senior coming in?
I think Miles
Or
Brennan
JUCO
is going to be
quarterback?
just fine.
Is
he going to be just?
How do you know?
Is he?
What have you
Because-
seen?
Because everybody who's seen him play says that the guy at practice or in the games and he's got all the physical tools. He's a super smart kid in the classroom as well as
Better
on the
be Peyton
field.
Manning.
I mean, he. But
he
look,
can't move.
I think Miles Brennan's going to be the answer. Is he going to be the answer next year?
Well, he has to be.
Game 1 against Miami? On a neutral field? I
He
don't
doesn't have
know.
to be. Then who is?
I don't know. But
Defense or
most
special
quarterbacks,
teams?
I mean, what's wrong with quarterbacks sitting and then red shirt, waiting a couple years before they become a guy? I don't think it's an indictment of Miles Brennan if all of a sudden his red shirt freshman year he's not the best player ever to come out of LSU. He might take him a couple years to become that guy. The point is LSU should never be in a situation where a freshman is your best
I agree
option at
with you.
quarterback.
I
But they
agree.
are. They are out of whoever's fault. Everybody's doing this, right?
Right.
O's doing that to Les. Les is doing that to Cam. Cam's doing this to the next guy. Whatever the case may be. But the point is that they're going to be playing a freshman quarterback next year. So folks just have to be patient. He gets a mulligan as far as I'm concerned next year.
He won't be a freshman.
I have zero expectation of
not gonna
LSU going 9-3 or 10-2 next year. If they do,
I'm telling you.
then the attaboy, coach.
It's going to be. You're going to know something right off the bat next year. That first game of the season versus Miami, who's by the way not as good as a lot of people thought they were. They're still a good football team, and Miles Brennan. Or I think that there's going to be a 2-quarterback system. I think that you're going to go in there and see what you got with both those guys. You're going to give that defense a better look, and let's see who's a gamer.
But Miami is not as good as their record indicates.
They're still a good football team.
But like Bill Parcells always said, you are as good as you are what your record says you are. But the other thing is we assume that, give LSU 8 more months. They're going to be so much better next August. Well, what do you think Miami's going to be?
They're going to be better
Miami's
too.
going to be a lot better. And by the way, they're
right.
going to get some big-time recruits now,
Yeah,
too.
they are. They're gonna get a lot.
This whole chain and the U and bringing back the history and all the way, they're going to get the dudes now in
got a
Florida,
lot of
especially
dudes.
with all the turmoil with Florida and
Yes.
Florida State and
Yes.
everything. They are going to get dudes now. So Miami is going to come in there with all the swagger, and they're going to be a hell
All
of a
he's got
challenge.
to do
next
is go
time.
recruit the same guy Scott Frost is recruiting now.
By the way, Scott Frost got to be going to Nebraska, right? That's a done deal, huh? I mean, it's not yet, but I mean, why would you not?
Why
The
would-
guy is the savior.
Yeah, but I mean, Nebraska's not what Nebraska used to be.
I
man.
get it, but I mean,
It's not. It doesn't have that tradition. That
I
used
get
to
it, but I
have.
mean, that guy was the quarterback there. He's
I know.
from Nebraska. That means something. We can't
Yeah, but he's
relate.
been
We
out-
don't
he's
care
been
about
out in South
Nebraska.
Florida for a while
Yeah, but I
now,
mean, like
man.
that. He's a dude. I mean, by the way, Tom Osborne's still alive. That'd be like one of.
I'm sure he's made the
That'd be
call.
like one of Coach Bertman's players going over and coaching somewhere.
But
and,
wouldn't you wanna be on the
I mean, it's a
top of-
big deal to come back to play for your school.
Let me ask you this: If you're Scott Frost, what's the more attractive job? Tennessee, Nebraska. I mean, just look at those
Texas
two.
A&M.
Well, that's not that. It's a nice job, but it's no. I would rather be at Tennessee. It just
You'd take Tennessee over Texas A&M?
landscape.
I wouldn't.
Landscape. Yeah, I mean, just.
I mean, it is on the East, which is an easier route to the championship. You only got to go against Georgia and
well,
Florida.
I'm not even talking about. I'm just talking about the school in general. I think Texas A&M's a great job. Don't get me wrong, but I just would rather.
A&M's
be
got
in
as good a
Tennessee.
facilities as anybody.
They got a lot of money put
They
in
got
there.
a tremendous recruiting alumni.
Base.
They got history.
You got
They
Louisiana. You got
the state of
Texas.
Texas. I mean, you
Yeah.
got 2 of the best football states in the country right within a couple hours of your campus. I mean,
So there's nothing you like about Tennessee?
I do like Tennessee, but
Some rich heritage there, man.
you asked me which one I'm gonna take. Texas over.
going Texas
I go
A&M?
College Station.
Wow.
I go College Station. Yeah.
Okay, good for you.
I think it's an easier.
I think it's
quick
because you don't
fix.
think you look good in orange. Because you probably don't. I mean,
Well,
I'm just looking at
if they had some vertical striping, it would help me. But I mean, look. By the way, which program's in a better situation to win? Texas A&M.
A&M.
Yeah, I mean, Texas A&M's
Sumlin's left
got a
that-
winning season and going to a bowl game. The University of Tennessee is like literally atrocious. Vanderbilt pistol whipped them.
Yep,
I mean,
which is crazy.
I mean, Vanderbilt went into their house
Yeah.
and said, "Come here, boy." I mean, unbelievable.
Do you think Ed Ogeron walked into a great situation this year with all the turmoil going on at Ole Miss, Florida, Texas A&M, Arkansas, all those Tennessee? I mean, look at all those games that there was something going on negative around that school. LSU got the win, but it's not going to be like that next year. You're going to have a new sense of urgency, new coaching staffs. Obviously, they're not going to be playing Tennessee, but the fact that they're going to play a Dan Mullen, Florida, who knows what they're going to bring into Texas A&M, but it could be big and it'll be on the road next year. Oh no, wait, it'll be here. No, it's going on the road. So it's going to be a tougher year too for Ed Ogeron.
No question, especially main thing, freshman quarterback.
Yep.
Before we get to the final segment, I want to thank one of our great sponsors, and that's Relief Windows. Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows do such a great job. If you've got a window that's maybe cracked or it's got a little mist in it, or you built new construction, old construction, remodel, commercial, residential, doesn't matter. Make sure you give Relief Windows a call. Tell them you heard it right here in Sports Shorts, and let them give you a quote. You do not pay a dime till the job is complete. Lifetime warranty on their products. They offer a lot of different products as well. Great experience as we remodeled my home. They left the place cleaner than when you found it. They show up on time. Just white glove, red carpet type experience dealing with the folks over at Relief Windows in South Louisiana. Give them a call today. LSU basketball for a minute. Good and bad last week. They beat an NCAA tournament team in Michigan. LSU beat a team that was in the NCAA tournament. They beat a team with a couple of draft picks. The next day they were still celebrating when they got just absolutely beat by 40 or whatever. But give it up for Coach Wade. They got a victory that, look, there's zero expectation of this basketball team this year. But what I saw from LSU basketball leads me to believe that this program is in the right direction. We know that they're doing good things on the recruiting front, but they have a couple of players that are freshmen that are going to transition and be good players for the next couple of years. They play hard. I like the enthusiasm. They have some big deficiencies on this year's model, but I think LSU basketball is heading in the right direction, and I think an NIT is not out of the realm of possibility. And that means you got to be 8-8 in the league at least. I think they have a chance for that. That's really the goal. No chance at an NCAA tournament, but hey, if they can somehow get the postseason, even if it's that other one that we don't even know about, any kind of postseason, don't turn it around. Don't turn it down this time, Joe. Remember when they turned down the invitation to the NIT and Ben Simmons? Stupid. Don't turn it down this time. We need it to get ready for next year. All right. 1 minute left to go. Final thoughts.
This Sunday is a huge day for LSU. It's going to be a huge day for
Saints, you mean?
Right. Well, and it'll be a selection Sunday, I'm sure, too.
To find out where that night
for where they're going to be going to. Hopefully, they'll go to that Outback Bowl so we can make it a trip.
Yeah, the Saints. By the way, the Saints play on New Year's Eve at noon. In Tampa, the very next day is the Outback Bowl, which could very likely be LSU. So that'd be a great road trip.
And I'm going to make that trip. That's my goal. And for Sunday, the Saints have to beat Carolina because they have 3 days to prepare for an Atlanta team that's hot right now on the road. This Carolina game is make or break. They got to win.
All right, he's Joel Davis. I'm Ronnie Rance. Thanks for watching us here on Sports Shorts in the LeBaire Studios. Don't forget, on Monday nights, right in the middle of your screen, every Monday night, ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge on 104.5, 104.9 from 6 to 8. Check us out. If you got one of those smartphones, download the 104.5, 104.9 ESPN app for free on your phone. The best 2 hours you'll never get back in your life each and every Monday. He's Joel. I'm Ronnie. Have a good one.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.